Good evening and welcome to Sunday Night Satsang with John and
Michelle. Hi.
Hi, from a very, very windy Cape Town, and I take it when we get the wind, then north gets the rain. Well, north in Africa, that is north in southern Africa.
Well, there's been a lot of rain.
Gauteng is probably raining, maybe Zimbabwe, all of those areas. So welcome. Thank you for joining us for another sacred hour of satsang. Satsang is really just a sharing of wisdom, a sharing of energy, a sharing of intention, a sharing of love. That's really what satsang is all about. And tonight we're going to be talking or looking at breaking free. Breaking free from what? Well, that we're going to talk a bit about what breaking free is from.
Welcome everyone. We can see some of you joining us. Thank you. Let us know where you're from and how you are today.
Yeah, we love getting your thumbs up and your hearts. We love getting the hearts. Thank you very much for all the hearts. And while we are going through tonight, if there are any questions or queries or comments, please, if you can, just type them up in the comments bar. We do get to them afterwards. We can see some of them coming up now. Hello, Linda. Hello, Helen.
It's nice to see comments because otherwise we're just looking at a screen.
Yeah, so we like to...
So it's nice to know that we're not just speaking to ourselves.
Well, maybe we
Hello, Helena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can't see everybody on their little pictures at the top of the screen.
No, we can't.
So.
No.
Hello, Stella.
Hi
Stella, everyone.
Yes. Hi, so yeah, just keep the comments coming while we are speaking because it also helps elevate the reach of the satsang on Facebook. Yeah.
Hello, Liesel. I'm Bathurst. How are you?
Hi.
Lovely.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Hi, yeah.
Okay.
So this evening we're going to be starting with a centering meditation. Do you have any astrology to share?
I do.
Do you?
A little bit. Yeah, I've already done my new moon thing. But
yeah. Did you look at Michelle's new moon video? I think it's excellent. I really was fascinated by what she had to say in it. And if you haven't seen it already, it's below here on the on Facebook. And take a look. It's definitely worth watching. Yeah.
Some pretty powerful energy around. So I will definitely give a short update on that as well.
Yeah.
But for the longer one, you'd need to look at my one.
Yeah. And then we'll end with a nice closing centering visualization. And do stay for the end because then we give out the week's affirmation card. Got a whole big pack here that we.
And if you ever have any sort of requests in terms of what you want to talk about, you can also just type it in here, and we're happy to look at it.
Yeah.
In future weeks, because we're here most weeks unless we're away.
Yeah.
Hello, Lisa. Nice to have you with us.
Yes. So let's start this evening, as we always do, by centering ourselves into physical reality. And physical reality is not the story that we tell ourselves in our head. Not at all. Eh?
No.
Not at all. Thank God. Because, the head
is a bit problematic if it was. Eh?
The head is very concerned with what is wrong with ourselves and the world around us. I mean, that's what the head does. And they say that if you wrote down today 100 problems that you have or challenges that you face, and then you come back in a year's time and went through that list, you'd find that 98% of them never happened. They never happened. All the stuff that goes on in the head that we concern ourselves doesn't happen. And maybe the 2 that did happen, you coped fine with it. You went through it. Oh. So thank God that that the matrix in our head isn't the real world. The real world is the world of life. And the only time and place that we are alive is in the here and now. Right here and right now. Your body is alive right now. Your heart is beating right now. So what we do as to begin our satsangs is we always center ourselves through the portal of awareness of the body. Body awareness is such a powerful key to escaping from the matrix or leaving the matrix. So let's do that, shall we? So settle back in your chairs or lying on your bed or wherever you are, lying on the beach, and just close your eyes gently and just bring your awareness into your body. See that your hands are maybe resting lightly on your lap, not crossed, your feet and legs not crossed. Just see that you're open so the flow of chi can come through you unimpeded. And just become aware of those beautiful hands of yours. Just become aware of the dexterity that they give you in life. Maybe say thank you to the hands. And in the palm of our hands we have a very powerful point right in the center of the hands, an important chakra, and that is for healing. You know, when a child runs and falls, you put your hand over the wound and the healing takes place. It's the same with us. If we get sore somewhere, we rub it, because that powerful energy is coming out of our palms. So right now you might like to move your hands about 6 or 7 inches apart, palms facing each other, and just bring your awareness into the stillness and see if you can feel that energy that right now is pulsing out of your palms. If you hold your hands facing each other and you move them in and out a bit, you can sometimes feel a ball of energy, a chi ball. Just see if you can do that. Now, the real reason we're doing this is because in order to feel this energy, we have to quieten down. We have to drop our awareness from our thinking mind and come fully into our hands. And in a moment we become quieter and stiller, calmer, more peaceful, just by becoming sensitive to the energy between the palms of our hands. You can take this energy now and just hold your hands over your heart and bring that energy from the palms of your hands into your heart. Feel this chi energy going into your heart. And then dropping your hands down onto your lap, feel that energy from your heart radiating out to all of those on the satsang with us tonight. Just feel a sense of community, a sense of connection. And I know some of you are going through difficult times at the moment, so feel a sense of compassion and care for all of those fellow travelers. As Ram Dass so famously said, we all, each one of us, walking each other home. And now let us take this energy from the whole group and radiate it out into the world. The world is going through a massive process of transformation, a birthing process. It needs energy, it needs love, it needs compassion. Just feel this energy from the group going out into the world as a beautiful radiance of light, dissipating the darkness from the hearts and minds of all of humanity, raising the frequency and the vibration of all who inhabit the earth and allowing Mother Earth to raise her frequency, that the earth may also evolve up to the 5th dimension. In the same way that an apple tree apples, the earth peoples. We are a function, we're a product of the earth. And as we shine our light, the earth is able to benefit by that in herself. And the earth is connected to our sun, which is connected to a central sun. And so this energy goes through the universe. We picture our radiance of love and light coming from our hearts into the group and out from the group into the world. And from the world into the universe. And you might like to imagine in your mind for a moment connecting with the star family that we're all part of. And they celebrate at their recognition that we have of their presence. Now we bring our awareness back to our hearts and we take a very deep breath in, drawing the air right the way down into your solar plexus. So you drawing your tummy out as you breathe in And as you breathe out, you bring your belly button back to touch your spine. So you're really squeezing that air out and dropping your shoulders as you breathe out. So you're relaxing. Breathing in again, drawing the air right the way down, this time to the toes. So you really bring the air into the body. And then that beautiful, long, surrendered breath out, twice as long as the in-breath. You're really surrendering in this moment. And a third, very deep breath in. Filling your whole body this time, right up to the top of your head. And then this time I want you to make a loud sigh as you breathe out. Just let it all go. Let everything go, withdrawing your mind from all other times and all other places. And just being centered in the very essence of life in your body in this moment. Let's just see if we can physically hear the beating of our own heart in our eardrums. For every time the heart beats, it pushes a pressure wave through the eardrums. Let's see if we can pick that up in our stillness, in our quietness, in our awareness. Keeping your focus and your attention on that exercise, on listening. At the same time, feel a light from your heart raising the frequency of vibration of your body and of your listening. Now let's draw some of this beautiful energy from beneath our feet, from Mother Gaia, up our feet, up our legs, into our torso to connect with this heart field of vibration. At the same time, let us draw a vibration of white light down from Father Sky through the crown of our head to meet us in the center of our heart. So we have Mother Earth and Father Sky meeting in our hearts. And filling our whole body with a joyful energy of creation. Liberating us from the chains of the mind. Giving thanks, we let that image go. And we take another very, very deep breath in. Right down to our solar plexus. Pushing the tummy out, and then that lovely long sigh out. Sighing out. And as you sigh out, just sink into a quiet place of stillness now within your hearts. A sacred chamber of stillness. Feel that peace. That peace that passes all human understanding. It's the very essence of your own being, which we call the I Am. Take another deep breath in. And a long sigh out, and gently, very gently, you may open your eyes and just see how you feel now in this moment, right now in this moment. How do you feel? You might like to just write it in the comment box so we can see how you're feeling in this moment. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.
Very calm, very peaceful. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about liberating ourselves, breaking free.
Breaking free.
Big theme right now, obviously.
Yeah,
so if we
with all
haven't,
the truckers in Canada, it is quite
something. I don't know if you've been watching anything off mainstream, because it's actually being censored. But
it's
if you haven't been, there's, I don't know, they're saying there's anything between 50,000 and 100,000 truckers on their way to Ottawa, or I think they're arriving.
It's just an expression of freedom.
It's just an expression of and humanity, wherever you stand.
Connection, community. It's wonderful to see. It really is.
So it's all amazing.
So what's happening in the stars?
So it's really all about that. But I did do a new moon thing. So the new moon is, if you're in South Africa, it's in the early hours of Tuesday morning, which is the 1st of February. And if you're in the States, then it's sometime tomorrow night, because you're 9 hours or 8 hours behind. So you just have to look up where you are. But it's quite a new moon because it actually has a lot of other things around it that are longer lasting. So a new moon is always a time to plant new seeds. So we're planting new seeds for the lunar month ahead. But this new moon's a little bit different because there's things happening at this new moon that are going to have longer playouts, yeah, for want of a better word, yeah. So sun and moon together in Aquarius, which is the sign of freedom. It's a sign of liberation. It's the sign of getting out of the box, escaping the prison, finding a new way of doing things. It's a sign of the visionary, the maverick, the unconventional one, the one who looks further, sees higher, gets an eagle's view, is able to detach enough so that you can actually see what needs to be done. So very often when people have a strong Aquarian theme in their charts, they're often very humanitarian, or they really care about saving the something, and they're very invested in that because they can generally see what needs to be done and then do it without getting too involved in the drama of it. So really at the essence of it, it's also a sign that relates to energy. It's and we are energy. So this new moon, we've got the sun and the moon together, and the energy is already here. So it's not only going to suddenly arrive on Tuesday morning, it's here. So many of you might be feeling it. So the sun and the moon are in Aquarius, which is all about free spirit, and I want to be free, I am free, I want to break free. You know that song? I want to break free.
Do.
That song?
Oh.
It's that. But then right next to them is the planet Saturn. And Saturn is about rules and regulations and responsibilities, and
Father
sometimes
figure.
our fears can be father figure. Sometimes it's karmic, sometimes it's family, conditioning, traditions. And the sort of what's happened is the three have sort of come together, and Saturn almost sort of, when it's sitting in a very, very close conjunction like it is, it sort of almost has a cloud over that. It's sort of... It doesn't allow that freedom to kind of burst free easily because there's a lot of conditioning there and lessons. So Saturn's always the planet of lessons and learning and what we're learning from a situation. So if you're feeling stagnant, or you're feeling inhibited, or you're feeling restricted, there's a lesson there. So that's number one. And somehow it's part of our karmic path that we're on. So there's that. There's also at the same time though, which is really what we're going to talk about tonight, you've got two planets together, which is Mercury, which is the planet of the mind, which is drawn into a conjunction or very close alignment with Pluto. And the two of these things together, the way I see it, is that old patterns of conditioning might be coming up to the surface. So those things that you think you've done and dusted, and I've said this before, but this is kind of quite an intense one. So those things that you think, yeah, I've done that, you know, I know my own value, and I know that I'm a sovereign being. Well, you might not be feeling that.
I've healed my inner child.
I don't have any issues anymore. I don't react.
Forgiven everyone.
Yeah, forgiven everyone. I don't react anymore. I'm zen-like. I'm present all the time. Not so much with Pluto.
Oh.
So Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it's in the sign of Capricorn, which is about tradition. It's about those memories, the childhood patterns that we've been taught, the belief systems that we've been taught. Like, this family always does it like this. You know, all those concepts that have filtered into our awareness over years and years and years, and maybe even prior to us arriving on the planet. So in order for us to be free, to be truly free, we've got to first see what those patterns are so that we can choose to actually choose something else. And that's So it's very much part of what we're experiencing, and this intensity, this sort of drilling down underneath the surface. It's like an investigator. It's almost like I'd say, be curious about what's there. So instead of saying, this has come up again, why? Why haven't I already sorted it out? Say, okay, what's it showing me? What's it showing me? Can I dance with this that it's showing me? Oh, there's this tension, there's this pressure, there's this anxiety, there's this fear, there's this regret, there's this victimhood, whatever it is. Can I just be present for it? Can I be the adult? That's Capricorn. Can I be the adult? Can I be responsible for my own feelings without possibly projecting them? Because our tendency is to project them out to somebody else, to some poor unsuspecting partner or person in our lives.
And what about projecting them out onto our childhood or onto our parents, projecting them onto the past?
Yeah, if it wasn't for them, then I would be fine.
I wouldn't be feeling like this
Then
today.
I would be free.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for the government, if it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't for lockdown, if it wasn't for my situation, if I was in XYZ situation, then I would be okay.
Yeah.
So it's to notice them without judging them and to just see, oh, this is what this is showing me. There's still this. So really that's what we just wanted to chat about, because this is a theme that's going to last for longer than 2 weeks. It's going to be around for a couple of months.
So we have been going through a lot of challenging energies for the last 2 years, a lot of very challenging energies. And these energies, wherever they're coming from, are not there to challenge, not there to punish us. They're there to challenge us. And it's through the challenging that we actually can heal. We become aware of those parts of us that are vulnerable to these energies.
Yeah.
And through that awareness, we can heal. Awareness is the greatest agent for change. And our work right now is to become more aware, more still, more quiet, less judgmental, less need for understanding. That's a big one, because a lot of people think I need to understand before I can heal this. No, you don't need to understand. You do not need to understand where the pattern came from. You do not need to understand why people are acting in a certain way. You don't need, let the need to understand go and allow just the awareness of how you are feeling in this moment to be. Allow it to be. You know, what was that John Lennon song?
Let it be.
Let it be, yeah. In times of trouble, Mother Mary came to me singing words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be. And so the energy that's going to get us through these ongoing challenges that we are facing as a species, individually, collectively, is the energy of surrender, is the energy of allowing, it's the energy of awareness, it's the energy of allowing those feelings to come up to the surface and to be held like you would hold a newborn baby. You don't want to understand the newborn baby, you just hold it and you love it to death. All the challenges, all the problems that you have in your lives right now need to be loved to death. Even when we look at the global situation and we can see maybe a lot of evilness taking place, love it to death. What does love mean? It means accept. It means embrace it with a feeling of compassion and love. And the biggie, forgiveness. That's a big one.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Lisa just said, less need for understanding. And our tendency is to want to understand. And as soon as we try to understand and unpack it and work on it and see where did this come from, and why am I still reacting the way I do react, and why am I still feeling this, and trying to sort it out here, it's not happening. It's not going to happen. So the polarity point in this this Mercury Pluto conjunction, as well as, by the way, Mercury's retrograde, which makes us, which tends to actually bring stuff up from the past as well. So the polarity point, which is the opposite point of it, is Cancer. What is Cancer? It's caring, it's nurturing, it's holding space. Exactly what John's just said. Cancer is the mother, it's the nurturer, it's the child that's having a meltdown that comes to mommy, and mommy says, come my child, let me just hold you. It's not about trying to understand why the child's having a meltdown. It's just saying, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just cry, be. have this feeling that you're having. You don't have to understand it and unpack every single bit of it, because then you're just leaping back into the mind, and the mind's a prison, because the mind's always going to take you from left to right, left to right, left to right, right to wrong, when, how. And so you're not actually healing it.
I like that analogy of the child.
Yeah.
Because what it requires is just to be held in the light of awareness. You just hold the child. You don't have to understand the child in that moment. You just hold it in a field of love. That's really what you're holding it in. That's beautiful. Yeah. And if we can hold all the challenges, all the problems, and even the world, hold the world in a bubble of acceptance, of compassion. Just hold the world in that state. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really what is the prison? What is our prison actually? If you think about it.
The prison is something that we've constructed, and we've constructed that prison with our mind, with our thoughts. Yeah. That's really where the prison comes from, believe it or not. It's our construct, although quite often those thoughts that we're holding are not conscious thoughts. They're unconscious patterns. But those patterns are being regurgitated through our awareness, and we can change that. We can, in fact, change those old subconscious programs we're running. And something which you've spoken about a few times is that the power of presence has been proved from a neurological point of view to dissolve those old patterns. A minute spent in presence is enough to already start dissolving those old patterns without any need to go for psychoanalysis or to understand, as we said. It's just a case of holding the feeling, and the feeling generally is a manifestation of the unconscious patterns which we hold in our mind. So although we're not aware of many of these unconscious thoughts that we're thinking, most of our thinking is done unconsciously. How it manifests is through feeling. So feelings are a beautiful barometer of what's going on in the subconscious mind. And we don't, again, need to understand where it's coming from. We need to hold the feeling, because in holding the feeling in presence and allowing the feeling to be there, at the same time, we're actually dissolving those old neurological pathways which were creating the feeling in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's just to allow that feeling. Now, what happens is generally most people, when we feel a feeling, we want to go into the story about the feeling. And in regurgitating the story about the feeling, we're building more prison walls. That's the truth. We're building and we're reinforcing old patterns which keep us prisoner. And in order to truly break out of those old patterns, which have been dominating not only our lives, but the lives of the collective humanity, which we're now having to face the shadow self, as we do that, as we hold and allow, we dissolve and we heal not only ourselves, but we also raise the vibration to heal the whole planet. And that's the beautiful part of going through the challenges that we're going through at the moment. And I know, we both speak to a lot of people, and people are going through a lot of challenges.
Huge challenge.
I mean, there's health issues, major health
financial issues.
And financial is huge at the moment. And there's an opportunity in for example, let's take financial issues. It's an opportunity. You see, the old way of dealing with everything, with dealing with the world, is through the masculine energy. And what is the masculine energy? Doing. It's a doing energy. That's how. So in other words, if there's not enough money, I need to go and do more. And the absolute truth, no. If there's not enough money, then you need to be more. You need to be, because in the being, you open yourself up to the abundance of the universe. I'm not saying that you don't go and do anything, but you make being more primary than doing. In the old world, we made doing more primary than being. I'll be when I've got enough time. When I've earned enough money, then I'm going to be. No. Rather make being, make your meditation, make your inner stillness primary, your default. And from that, you'll be amazed, because miracles will unfold in your life. The more you make being primary, the more you open yourself up for grace to come in. And the reason is very simple. Because when you're being, you're aligned to the divine.
That's right. And
the divine is the only source of meeting all your needs. I know that you created in your mind the perception that, no, I meet my needs. No, you don't. All your needs are met by the divine essence of being, of presence, of life. And all we need to do, I believe, at this stage is surrender more and more and more and be open to the flow of life, wherever life wants to take us. And I think part of this lack of abundance in many people's lives is because we've been walking in the wrong direction. When I say the wrong direction, a direction that the universe says, no, that's enough along that path. Now there's the fork in the road, and now we're going to lead you in a new path. And quite often we go along the new path kicking and screaming and resenting the new path that we have to walk. And it's happened to me quite a few times in my life. So I know from an experiential point of view that this is true. And it's to be open to what life is urging you towards right now.
And I think that, the old way, if you look at this as a turning point, which is it's a paradigm shift, it's a turning point for humanity.
Yeah.
This is not just you and me and our little lives. This is a turning point for humanity. It's almost like there's a split in the timeline, and there's the old and there's the new. And the old, if you really look at it, was very, very outward driven. If I have enough, if I do enough, if I achieve enough, then I will be successful, I will be happy, and everything will go according to plan. Now, what's happening, and what's been happening over the last few years, and actually longer, but it's just intensified over the last few years, is that those outer structures aren't as stable as we thought they were. So if you find your definition, if you define your security, if you find your well-being, if you find your sense of self in the outside world, you're going to be struggling at the moment because it's not working the way it used to work. It can't, because we have to go into neutral. If you're going to go into another gear in a car, you have to go into neutral. And in neutral, as John just said, that's where you're in the flow of life. You're not in the flow of life when you're driving full on towards the future, towards something. So you actually, that when you're in neutral, when you go into that neutral space, life flows, and then you have an insight, and then you move on that insight or that download. I mean, we were just saying this morning how often it is that we get ideas in the shower. I mean, it's always happened to me. I used to be in advertising for many years, and I remember the one day I had to come up with a concept for an ad, and I did not have a concept. And the meeting was like at 9:30 in the morning, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I still didn't know what the concept was, and I had to present. And I went into the shower, and I didn't even think about it. I just went and showered. And as I was showering, it just dropped in. It drops in to our awareness. And then you act from that place. So it's not like you're sitting like an amoeba, not doing anything, but you're doing it in a different way. It's a different way of interacting with the world. And it's in a way in which we're interacting, which is what this Aquarian energy is that we have been under the illusion that we are separate from everything.
Yeah.
And we are not separate from everything. We are electrical beings that are connected to everything.
Yeah.
So when we drop into a neutral place, we change the field.
Yeah. And that's what happens in the shower. When you're in the shower, you're in neutrality. Yes, there is a certain amount of doing going on, but you're not trying to get anywhere in that moment. Generally, no. And I know, I mean, I can also say that all, the ideas for workshops and things, they come when you're in the shower.
I think, John, we should put a whiteboard or something up there, because then you've got to run out of the shower to quickly write it down.
The challenge is that those ideas drop in not through your logical mind,
they don't.
Not through your beta or even your alpha mind. They drop in through theta. Now, theta is a mind state of openness, of presence, but there's no memory there. So, you've got to rush for that book and write the idea. I had a wonderful idea this morning, and I just walked and by the time I got to the book, the idea was gone.
Exactly.
So it is to start to make beingness at the moment more important than your doingness. I don't think the universe is supporting doingness too much. I think the universe is going to support your beingness more. So the real prison that we are facing isn't an external prison, it's an internal prison. It's a prison of perception. We are in a prison of perception. And who or what is currently controlling your perception? Well, there's maybe 3 broad areas for perception. The one The one area is what we see, around us. But what we're seeing around us is a manifestation of past perceptions, manifesting now in the physical world.
And you seeing it differently from what I'm
And
seeing
we all see it differently because we all have a different program running in our subconscious mind.
We were looking at a picture today. John saw it in a one way and I saw it in another way.
Yeah.
Completely and utterly different.
Yeah,
Same picture, both of us saw it completely differently. It's different perceptions. And all of us are different. We've all got different perceptions.
Yeah. And as some guy said, it's to actually accommodate competing narratives.
Yeah.
To accommodate competing narratives. That's important. So the first area of perception is sight, seeing. Oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, no, you're seeing the past manifested through the physical world. The second area is the mind. The mind perceives. And the mind has two levels of perceiving. The one is through our thoughts, which again we construct into a certain reality, and the other is through our feelings. So the mind manifests as thoughts and emotions. But the third level of perception, the truer level of perception, is the heart. That's where we go to in stillness, in quietness. And in that stillness and quietness, which is love, we perceive reality as it really is. In the quiet stillness with no judgment, no preference, just a sense of isness. And as we go through the challenges, if we're able to step back into this place of quietness within our heart, we will start to perceive the world differently, with a different vibration of energy. Now, we know from quantum physics that the vibration that we have in our thoughts and our feelings physically alter reality around us. So as we step into this third level of perception, the quietness, the stillness, the non-judgmental, the feeling of inclusion, not exclusion, the feeling of community, we create a new future for ourselves. We create a new earth. The new earth is created from this feeling. Otherwise, it's going to be regurgitation of the old earth, which is a manifestation of what we see and what we think about and what we feel in emotions. That's the past driving us forward. And now's the time to change into that neutral which you spoke about and start manifesting in alignment with grace, with life. And from that, the universe wants us to shift. The universe is standing in anticipation of the new earth being born through the new rising of consciousness in humanity. We're supported by the universe, but we are the planet of free will. So we get to choose at this point. And I think some people are going to choose this way and other people are going to choose a different reality. And we're going to see a splitting of the worlds into two completely different realities.
Yeah, neither right nor wrong, just different. There's going to be different, and there's going to have to be a lot of tolerance for the fact that there's just going to be two different, possibly more, realities. So there's likely to be a very, because I mean, without going into too much of it, but the AI thing is huge, and that's a runaway train. I mean, that's happening. So whether we want to be and will be a completely part of that, or whether we're going to choose freedom and to connect with nature and to be in relationship with nature, our spiritual side. And if you look at spirituality, we were listening to something by Greg Braden earlier, and he was saying spirituality is relationship with the divine, relationship with each other, relationship with yourself, relationship with nature,
Mother Gaia,
relationship with plants and animals and presence. So that's going to be that's going to be a shift.
Yeah, because the other world is the metaverse. That's connection through technology.
That's right.
That's connection to meeting your desires.
Yeah.
And forming, getting your thoughts into this metaverse and creating whatever you want for yourself in that way.
Reality.
But it's devoid of humanity. There is no love there. There is no connection. There's no real community. There's pseudo love. There's pseudo community. It's not real. There's a lack of humanity. So we have one taking us deeper into community, deeper into humanity. And the other turning point is the sort of lure of technology and being sucked into. The figure we saw the other day was there are over 2 billion people who are regular gamers.
But
and the gamers is living...
Not just regular, like, these people that don't get out of their house for days.
Yeah. So that's sucking
a lot of people.
Consciousness, humanity down into a dead zone. That's really what it is. It's an atrophy of the human spirit. And the other one is an enlivening of the human spirit. And that's the sort of, and that is this breaking, the freedom comes by choosing from the heart, not from the head, not what the head wants, but choosing humanity, choosing love, choosing your connection with life and the divine. That's where freedom comes from, not by being sucked into the metaverse. So
asking what would love do, in any situation. What would human love do? How do I feel? That's why I think that it's so important that we really connect with somatically with our bodies, because our bodies don't lie. And so very often you might feel a sensation in your body and then actually realize that, wow, I'm actually going through some kind of a process right now, because I can feel it in my body. I don't even know what the thoughts are. Then when you sort of stand away from it, you might see some stories that you might be telling yourself, but your body will tell you if you're in fear, or if you're angry, or if you're sad, or if you feel stuck, or if you need to get out of somewhere. Your body will tell you yes or no. And the more disconnected we become from our bodies, which is actually very often the more connected we come with technology, and all of us are connected to technology. This is why we can do this. So technology is not bad. Technology's it's how you use it.
It's
how we decide to use it.
Yeah, whether you use it or it uses you.
That's right.
There is a difference.
And it's same with thoughts. Thoughts are not bad either.
No.
But if they use us,
if
they become the master, if technology becomes the master, then we lose our humanity. We lose our heart. So this is about coming back to heart. And so the things that are coming up for you that might be hard, where you think, oh, here's the story again. Know that it's there so that you can see it clearly. You can say, yep, it's still here. Okay, I love myself irrespective of that story. Even though I'm fearful, and techniques like emotional freedom tapping technique are incredible for this. So even though I'm feeling really stressed right now, even though I'm feeling frustrated, even though I'm feeling fearful, breathe. I deeply love and approve of myself right now. Right now. And you say it over and over again. And that starts to, first of all, it's an incredible holding space because there's no judgment there. Even though I'm having this meltdown or this feeling, I still love myself. I still value myself. So I'm not separating myself out. So that's the way, that's this polarity point of Cancer, which is saying, can we just be a holding space for what's arising? And in that holding space, you can often see the stories playing, but you can see them from that neutral point.
Yeah, because that what you're saying there, that is a shift in perception. When you see it from the mind, when you see it from your emotions, when you see it through even the physical eyes, you are seeing it secondhand. You're seeing it through filters of perception. When you start to see it from your heart, there's a direct connection, and that's where the healing takes place. When you're in this higher state of perception, which isn't about judgment. So you're feeling a really terrible feeling. The mind will either resist that feeling or go into the dark hole of the feeling. Here you will just accept the feeling. You will hold the feeling without that judgment. That's the higher awareness. It's consciousness, unconditioned consciousness that you're holding with. And this also is the topic for our Inner Space group. We have a lovely community called Inner Space. We meet up on Zoom twice a month. And there is a certain amount of journal work given, which is optional, but it's beautiful. And there's a beautiful creative exercise every month, and a beautiful meditation. This meditation this month
really
is
good. John
I really enjoy it, and it's like a Zen. It's almost like a Zen meditation. Really nice. And that community this month, we're going to be looking at perception. We're going to be looking deeply at perception. How can we break free from these old unconscious patterns of misperception? Because the true perception is always love. If you're not seeing love in any situation, you're misperceiving it.
Yeah.
And so it's to come back to peel away all those layers of misperception so we can see the deeper truth that's underneath all the misperception that our mind is telling us in that moment. And that is true liberation.
Yeah, and the misperception is obviously anything other than love, which is separation. So anything that separates us, anything that polarizes us, we've missed the point.
Yeah.
It's a misperception, because we can't actually be separated. So that's all misperception, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very, very powerful energy, and over the next couple of months, astrologically, we're also going to have the planet Venus and Mars moving closer and closer and closer to Pluto as well. So that's also quite interesting, because Mars and Venus are the planets of the masculine and the feminine. So it feels to me like it is, again, it's a transformation. It's potentially a merging of masculine and feminine. It's equalizing it, but we've got to see where the imbalances are, so that we can actually give birth to this new thing, this new earth, and we're part of it. We signed up for this.
Yeah, it's not that we will continue to express the divine energy force through the masculine or through
Absolutely.
the feminine. But we come into balance, because it's been out of balance for far too long.
Balance.
Because of division, because of separation,
Yeah.
we start to see the unity. And the place within us that's neither male nor female is being.
Yeah,
that being plot that you get to in the shower. When you're showering and that beautiful insight drops in, that's because you're in neutral. As you said earlier, that's neutrality. Mm-hmm. I am is neutrality. I am being is neutrality. Love, funny enough, is not a positive energy, nor is it a negative energy. It's a neutral energy. It's an energy of holding, of accepting, of embracing. So love is very much in alignment with this being energy that we're speaking about, which is a place of freedom. Freedom.
Yeah, it's also the other image that I love with the bringing together is, if you've got two circles and they come together, and where they overlap, that little sort of shape like that is called the Vesica Pisces, which is actually the meeting point. It's that neutral point. It's neither that nor that. It's where the two come together.
Commonality.
It's the commonality.
Yeah.
It's the oneness.
Yeah.
And that's what we get when we go into neutral. That's when we go into presence. We go into that midpoint. And that's the birthplace. It's fascinating if you want to look up Vesica Pisces. It's the birthplace of everything.
Yeah.
That's the birthplace.
Now, the old world is about separation. It's always about creating divisions between people. You look at the media, it's all about creating division. Always. Yeah. Us and them. Always us and them. Us and them. Us and them.
Google ads.
And the new world is not about us and them anymore. It's about us. It's about the true essence of our commonality, which is our humanness, which is life, really. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Looking at our commonality rather than our... and it's going to come where we actually realize what our collective values are, what's really important to us as a collective, on whatever side you happen to be or perspective you happen to be from. Where are we one?
Where do we meet?
What is important to us? Those values, that's what's actually going to be the uniting point, I think, in all this.
Yeah. And those of you who've seen that map of the matrix that I have, you've got the horizontal plane of time, and that's separation. And then you've got the vertical plane, the fifth dimension, which drops through time into presence. And everything that is in alignment with the vertical plane is where we meet. We meet in love, in peace, in joy, in presence. That's all in the vertical plane. And that is common to us all. That's the meeting place, is right there. And just something that came to mind is we have a beautiful live retreat coming up in March.
Oh, we do in Hogsback.
In Hogsback, our favorite place. Yeah. So details will be up on the website tomorrow. Yep. We just released it. Just opened it there. And if any of you want to join us in the flesh, that's beautiful. But if you're not able to join us in the flesh, then please join the Inner Space group. It's a wonderful community, and that's available on our website, which is journeysofawakening.com, and we're all on the journey. We're all walking each other home, as I said earlier. Yeah,
and all this work, all the stuff that we're doing right now is very, very aligned with what's going on. As Liesl on our group now just said that she works with horses, and the horses are communicating. that this is actually what's up for humanity and for all of us. So the more we can connect with this space in between, with this neutral space, there's a very big opening happening in March, April on our planet somehow. So I think that this is the preparation point for it. So whatever you are doing on your own or in it does help to be in a group. So we've also got a journey to freedom that's just starting. So there is time to still do that.
That's our 13-week online program, Journey to Freedom.
It's our 10th one.
Yeah.
Since lockdown happened.
Yeah.
So if you can
and
also
you can still join that. Yeah, you're still welcome to join that. We're still on the free week, the introductory week, which is called Life Vision, and the registration instructions are on our website as well for that. So you're welcome to come along and spend this week with us free of charge, no charge for the initial week. Yeah, and we meet up on Thursday. Yeah. So
lots to offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to lead us out.
So that went quickly tonight.
Yeah, very quick. And any questions or queries or comments, if you enjoyed what you heard tonight, then please send us a comment. We like to know how you perception, what we have to share. If there's anything extra you'd like us to share, please let us know. And thank you. And also share if you can. Press the share button.
That helps.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a settle in wherever you are sitting or lying down. Just get comfy and take a really deep, slow breath in, all the way up to the top of your chest, and then releasing breath out. Now another deep, slow breath into the count of 4. Hold it for a few seconds and then release it to the count of 6. And another one like that. Deep breath from the belly, blowing the belly out all the way up to the count of 4. Hold it and then release and blow the breath out. And as you blow the breath out, relax your body. Relax your arms, relax your hands. Drop your shoulders. Put your shoulders back a little bit so that your heart opens, and breathe into your heart. Breathe right into the middle of your heart. Now in this peaceful place, imagine in your mind's eye a scene from nature. Beautiful scene in nature. Make it as real as you can in your imagination. Immerse yourself in the scene. The smells, the sounds, maybe the feeling of air on your cheeks. Maybe there's some water there that you can connect with. Some plants or trees. Maybe some little animals running around. Possibly the sun filtering in, warming you. And just feel your gratitude for this beautiful place, for Mother Earth, for the feminine, the earth and the water, the two feminine elements. Imagine placing your gratitude for Mother Earth into a beautiful ball of light. And bring that light, that beautiful ball of light up and place it in your heart. Take a deep breath. And out. And now send your awareness to above your head. Imagine that you could float out of your body into the sky, to the blue, blue sky. watching the white clouds drift by. Maybe you can see the sun. Maybe there are a few birds flying up there. And then out even further until you're in the night sky, surrounded by stars, planets, galaxies, infinite, infinite space. No boundaries, completely and utterly free. Maybe you can feel the moon as well. Feel your feeling, feel your gratitude for Father Sky, for the sun, for the air. So for fire and air, which are the two masculine elements, feel the gratitude that you have. And bring that love that you have down through the top of your head into a ball and place it next to the love that you have for Mother Earth. And now allow these two permeable balls to start to dance inside your heart. You could even see them as flames dancing together. All these two energies merging into one. No separation. One beautiful integrated light right in the center of your heart. Allow them to come to a stillness inside you, this place of oneness, this place where there is only one, this precious present moment of peace and beauty and love. Really let this fill your being from the inside out. Feel what it feels like to be in this peaceful place of integration, of oneness, of connection to all that is. Allow this to be your default, that you return to over and over again. Now take a beautiful deep breath in and a releasing breath out. And another deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can gently start to open your eyes.
How do you feel? How do you feel now? Peaceful, quiet. Thank you. That was really beautiful.
Good.
Lovely energy to take into the new week with us, don't you think? So we've got some affirmation cards here. Let's see what you're going to choose tonight.
Okay, let me close my eyes.
We hold them up that way so she can't see what's on the cards.
That one. A change in feeling is a change in destiny.
We don't make this up, eh? So it's an orangey yellow sort of card, more orange than yellow, and there it is. A change in feeling is a change in destiny. And that's absolutely what we've been speaking about tonight, because freedom comes from a change in feeling. So I'll photograph that. I'll put that up on the Facebook page. And just a reminder, there's 3 things that we have on offer at the moment. We've got the Inner Space, the new February one. At the moment, we've got the free week for the Journey to Freedom, and that's Journey to the Life Vision Week. And then we've got the Hogs Back live retreat coming up in March. It's all up on our website. Well, the Hogs Back one isn't. That'll be up tomorrow, yeah. So join us and join the WhatsApp group if you're not already on our WhatsApp group, Journeys of Awakening WhatsApp group. I think the link's on the website, is it? Yeah.
It is.
You have a beautiful week further, and we look forward to catching up with you next Sunday for Sunday Satsang with John and Michelle.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you lots.
Love you all. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. And you might like to press the share button as well. Thank you. Love you all.
Thank you.
Nighty night.
Night.